Alright, picking up where we left off, we mentioned that we had not enough room width in these cells up top to fit these descriptions. So we're going to change the alignment. So I'm going to highlight not the columns, but I'm going to actually highlight these cells. So that's cell B1 through T1, it looks like on the top. So I'm going to go through these cells where the descriptions are, and I think on your yeah, it just says column headings on your sheet, but it's B1 through T1. So I'm going to take these and change the alignment. There's a couple ways to do it. If you look up here, there's a button that says orientation, and if you click on that, it would actually be this one. Rotate text up is the one we're going to use. The way I have it listed on the sheet, you can also go here to the opens up the dialog box, and that'll have alignment too. And for older versions of Excel, you'll find some of this information here. If you don't, if you're using 2003. I hear some of you in class saying, I can't do that in 2003. Nobody talks like that, but you will have the same information available. So I'm going to click and open this up, and here you'll have this format cells, and under alignment they have this little rotation thing, and it does the same thing as rotate cells up, but if you look over here, I could rotate this up 90 degrees, and if I hit OK, it rotated all my information vertically facing that way. And I don't like to put information with letters stacking on each other. It's just reading in a different direction. So that saves us some space, and we do have vertical space to work with, so I'd rather do that than making everything real wide or trying to shorten names. So I have a little space there for all my descriptions going up. So I'm going to move down now to number 4, where I'm actually coloring rows. And it says on the sheet 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. So I'm going to actually color these rows here. And to select multiple rows that alternate, I could click and then hold my control key. And click 12 and 14. So I could highlight multiple rows that alternate by holding my control key. So they're actually non-adjacent rows. They're not touching each other. And if I want to give them just a different color, I could use my paint bucket. Remember, the paint bucket fills cells with color, not the type, but fills the cells. So I'm going to use a light color, just a light gray, and as I hover my mouse over it, I can see the color change. I'm going to use just the second gray that's showing up here, and there's the color. Matter of fact, maybe I'll make it like a light blue color, just to vary it from the gray that's on top. So there's my blue color, and it just helps me read things a little bit better, especially if you have a long list of names. So that was number 4. Number 5 is where we're actually going to use some formulas. We're going to use our AutoSum. Now that's easy to use, but we're going to have to do some more formulas when you do this exercise. But we're going to start with number 5, AutoSum the total possible points in cell R3. That's right here. This is going to add up the total points of all these cells so that we know how many points there are based on all the assignments and quizzes and exams for the semester. So this will total up the total points. So this is fairly easy. We just select the cell, which is R3, showing up in my name box, and I click the AutoSum button, and it'll highlight all the cells that it's going to AutoSum. And if you see right here, it's writing a equation or a formula, and I'm just going to hit return on my keyboard. And that puts it in, and it does put the number in here. Now the number is showing up in my cell, but notice in my formula bar it's showing the formula, which is actually, notice how it's written, equal sum, and then in parentheses the range of cells that are being added together. So you'll have to know that because we'll be writing our own formulas, and we won't always be able to just hit a button to make that occur. So that's the AutoSum button, and that adds up. And we don't just want to type in a number here, we actually want this so that if anything changes, if we added a different quiz, if we added another assignment, if the number changed, this number will update because it's based on a formula, not based on an absolute number. Okay, I'm going to stop here because I want to go through some formulas on the end here. So this will take a little bit of time and a little bit of explanation, so I don't want to rush through this. So I'm going to stop here, and then we'll continue with part 3, is the formulas for adding up and figuring out the percentages for these totals at the end.